Eric with Midgard Arms, part 3 of the Mauser 98 project. So I torqued the barrel onto the action. You guys saw how I took it off, so essentially just reversed that. Torque it back on. I got to do some touch-up bluing because it spun a little bit in there, so I'm going to everything on that, but no big deal. So what I'm going to do is I got a 25-06 climber chamber reamer. It's a finish reamer, and I'm going to cut the chamber on the short chambered barrel all the way till the go gauge sits. You don't want to rush this part, especially if you don't have a lathe at home. You just want to go slow and go, one turn at a time, 2 turns at a time. When you're starting, but when you get closer, you literally want to go like quarter turn at a time. You don't want to push that, because you will cut the chamber too deep, and then you got to take the barrel back off. You got to go somebody who's got a lathe. You got to spin it off. You got to cut the shoulder back. You got to cut the chamber in back and try it again. So I just got a T-handle. You can get these at Brownells or Midway USA. This is exactly for doing this if you don't have a lathe, and I'm just using Walmart brand transmission fluid, which was, I think, the cheapest thing. They probably had it on sale for a few bucks. And then you let gravity help you. And as you turn, you're going to feel it cut. If you feel it chatter, you want to decrease your pressure. You don't want to add chatter marks inside. And then as you get ready to pull it out, I like to take all the pressure off of it, spin it a few times, and you'll feel it smoothing out. But then you can see all the filings from cutting the chamber. And that's all you're doing. You're taking thousandths of an inch off at a time as you're cleaning or as you're cutting your chamber, and then you check it again. Try to get all the shavings off of that. You want to use a nice soft brush or a soft rag or soft brush to get all the shavings out of there, so you don't dull the shit out of your expensive ass reamer. And if you're doing it this way, you can use an air compressor. You can use compressed air in a can if you wanted to. I got some brake clean right here, so stick it in the chamber in. Try to blow a lot of that debris out. Come in here with I just got a really thick rag. Spin it in there. I'm not trying to push this all the way through the barrel. I'm trying to collect any shavings that might be on it. And you can see that there's really not a lot of shavings on there. Probably blew most of them out with the parts cleaner. And then use a brush. This one is, I believe, 45 caliber, something like that. It's about the same size as the chamber. And it's just a nylon brush. I just stick it in the chamber and twist it to try to push any shavings out. And then you can look in there, see if you see any shavings along the walls or anything. I'm going to give it one more wipe. Take our go gauge. This is a JGS 30-06, says right there go, and it has the measurements on it. And we're getting a little closer. got this thing just wrapped up. You can kind of see where it's spun in the barrel vise, so I got to sand that out and re-blue the damn barrel again. But I'll sand it out, smooth it out, and then I'll put a plug on that in once I set headspace, and we'll go from there. But yeah, you just keep doing this. Keep doing that until it closes on your go gauge, and once it closes on the go gauge, you want to check it with the other one, which is called a no-go gauge, and make sure it doesn't close on that so you don't have excessive headspace. So I'm going to continue this, and then I'll show you when I get to the go, no-go part. So, been working on setting the headspace and been going very slow, 5-6 turns, you know. When I mean turns, you can count a full rotation, or you can just do like half rotation. So that's what I was doing. By every 6 half rotations, I would pull it out and check it. And so as you're doing it, you're going to get little shavings on your chamber reamer. Use an old paintbrush, or you know, these plastic brushes work okay. Paint brushes are a little bit nicer. They take it all out and cleans it all up for you. And then you'll get your go gauge. So this says go right here. Not to see if you can see it. It says go, and should be able to put it in, and the bolt close all the way down. Okay, so that's bolt all the way down. And then you're going to get what's called a no-go gauge, and it says it right there, no-go, 25-06, 30-06, 270, anything off that 30-06 family. And you're going to do the same thing, put that in there. Put that underneath the extractor. Put that guy in there. You should take the extractor off, but it's hard to get that collar off on this one. So instead of fighting that cocksucker to put it back on, I'm just going to leave it off. And then there's a no-go gauge. And you can't push it down any further. And so this piece right here should line up in that notch, and this should be essentially 90 degrees. So this is extraction. This should be 90 degrees right behind your extractor. Should be completely locked. So that's your no-go. Here's your go gauge. And there you go. We got 25-06 headspace. And now I get to worry about getting that fucking shit fixed. God dang it. I gotta polish it out. Yeah, there's another one right there from my barrel vise, but that's my fault. I tried cheating, only wrapping it with a piece of rubber, but I should have used leather on the barrel. But you know, you win some, you lose some. I'll polish it out, and then re-blue it, and be like you never seen it. So, all right, guys, that's how you headspace. That's how you set headspace for a Mauser 98 not using a lathe, just using a T-handle and your finish reamer. And so there we go. We got a 25-06 functional firearm. Now we just got to put it in the stock and on its way. Thanks, guys. Okay, guys. So I got a video out there already on how to fit a rifle to the stock. But kind of just do a quick little overview. First thing you want to do is start with your floor plate when you're doing this. And I've already started working on this one. So kind of skipped a few spots that you might see. I mean, this is a Richards Microfit gunstock. This is their single A grade fancy. And when I got it, the trigger guard wouldn't fit in all the way, so I've already got that fitted. But if you look closely in here, you can see that the material still needs to be taken down a little bit. And show you guys a cool little trick right here. You know, it's not like the rest of this is kind of level with the trigger guard metal, everything all the way down here. When I originally got it, it was like way up here, so I got all that down. But so right here, you can see that it's above the metal. So what I'm going to do is mark out where I need to on the stock. see where everything lines up. You want to have good light for this. And then what I do, I come across here and see where it kind of looks like it humps up right in here. So what I'll do, and then I'll take this and just kind of color it in. So I know I'm only taking material off in the areas that I want to. Okay. So when you're doing stock shaping, there's a plethora of tools. A rasp, Nicholson number 49, has a rounded edge and a flat edge. This isn't the Nicholson number 49, I believe. Oh yeah, it's a Nicholson, but it's pretty old. It's rusty and everything else, and you need to get a new one. A big flat file that's pretty sharp. A round file, a mill bastard file, different chisels. I sharpen these every time I use them, and I also sharpen the edges along with the flats, so I can use it as a scraper too. Pliers, don't really need it for this, but you know, the needle files that we were using for the metal stuff, can use those too. And then chainsaw file, triangle file, and then a plethora of different sandpapers, everything from I think 60 grit up to 320 grit, and a sanding block. That's everything that you need in order to do your sanding and shaping and everything else. So with the chisel that I made a scraper out of, you can feel it is quite sharp to the touch. And literally just start where your pencil marks are. And you only want to take off a little bit at a time, so you can sit there with a chisel or a rasp if you want and start hogging a bunch of wood off. But we're so close to where I want it to be. I'm just going to go with a scraper, and you can see it just pulls off those little twirlies. And you want to make sure that you go with the contours in order to round everything off. At least if you want to. I mean, if you want more flat bottom, you can. When I was originally shaping this, like I was saying, the pistol grip area was considerably higher than where the trigger guard was coming in. Same thing. So I essentially took the Nicholson rasp and just on the rounded side, gouged that thing all the way down till the whole thing was flat. And then you can take a series of different files and sandpaper, and essentially, I'm not going to do it, but then you'll round everything out, you know, and then you can come in there when you get close just to smooth everything. But yeah, that's a nice little tool to make. This is just a ½ inch or a 3/4 inch chisel, and I have a belt grinder downstairs, and just sharpen it up and then sharpen the edges. So just keep working at it, keep fitting it, you know, it's just like head spacing. You're gonna put everything in there, and then you're gonna see where you need to. So take out from there to there now. So now I just keep working those areas just to make it to where it fits flush to the metal, and then when I sand it, it's going to get all smooth and look pretty. All right, thanks guys.